it on the page as well.
Right, it's starting there now. Don't forget how your volume doing.
Aye. So that tricopter thing, is it FPV, is it? Right.
It is now. I've put an FPV camera on and transmitter.
Alright, okay, so it wasn't that standard.
No. On the transmitter, it comes with its own transmitter, so, and it's got the little switches on it which says Wi-Fi, you know, so you can switch the camera on and off. So I think I'm going to upgrade it at some point in time, but Wi-Fi is rubbish for a FPV.
I think I've got a few of the little cheapy phones that have the Wi-Fi camera on them.
Good fun though, very stable.
Yeah. It looked like a really good toy.
It is a toy, but you know, if you want to fly in the back garden, and I need to get over the landline, which is around about 18 foot tall, it's the perfect thing.
The trouble with where I live, it's like a terrace street, so all the buttons are joined together, and there's trees in them and stuff, so you just can't really fly anything.
Yeah.
That was me. I need to view it, don't I? Bugger.
Yes, 1,000 subscribers as well. Did we hit that last night?
Last night when I was on the Boozers channel.
Yeah.
It was quite good actually.
Yeah.
Victor's in the house. Robert, Inertia RC. Hello guys.
Hello. Yeah. How we going?
This is our first time streaming, and I thought this time we would grab some of the guys in from Northeast FPV. We've got Rob, aka Sausage Fingers, top right, top left, Aaron, and bottom right, RBS, that's Ray.
Oh. Hello.
You like the Sausage Fingers bit, don't you? Now change this to studio mode. Can everybody hear it? Everybody. Hello Richard. Is the audio and video okay? Oh aye, well northern. Jermaine? Thanks. Yeah, we got 1,000 subscribers last night, not all in one go. I think we've been sitting at 996 for the last few days. So it was getting quite tentative, the last 4 subscribers. But while I was on Mary Boozer's channel last night, Jeff's RC put a shout out for us, so we picked up a few more subscribers to push over that 1,000 mark, which was brilliant. That was Jeff's custom RC. He's always bigging you up.
Very good channel as well.
Aye, Jeff's got a good channel.
We've had some party poppers.
Alcohol will have to suffice, right?
Yeah,
I think
that's good enough for me, mate. Cheers.
We've been putting videos out. I started about 6 years ago, So it's taken 6 years to get to 1,000, so things never came quick.
They very rarely do in YouTube land though.
Thanks for that, Richard. Is anybody from Northeast FPV in the chat? I've just put it out in the messenger. I was hoping maybe Andrew could join in the chat. Or Simon Shaw. So is that anybody who's been flying recently?
It's a nightmare being locked up. You know, in the UK we kind of go out.
Yeah, we're still in lockdown in the UK.
Too many coppers about, isn't there?
It's for the best though.
Yeah.
It's what we have to do, chaps. It's what we have to do.
Keep the fingers going and cross in lift off.
Did you see that I posted on our Facebook group that I think it was this morning? Lockdown lifted, head to the beach. With a car hitting the roundabout and flying through the sky. I think everybody's been repainting their planes in Russia, either repainting planes, weathering planes, or building plastic model planes.
I think the day that this lockdown gets lifted, I'm going to have to hire a van to get all my planes in it.
Yeah.
Fly.
I wouldn't care. During this lockdown time, we've had brilliant weather where we could have been flying. And I see somebody Jermaine commented saying the weather hasn't been very good, but we've had absolutely brilliant weather for flying, just obviously we can't.
I noticed that yesterday. I was looking out the window at this beautiful sunny day and no wind. And I was thinking, it would be ideal.
A perfect day for the beach.
It's killing us, absolutely killing us. I've even had to resort to one of these to get me flying fix.
Are you going to be flying that in the back garden, Ray?
Will be.
What is it?
Yeah. Is that a mini convergence?
It's one of these JJRC toy quadcopter aeroplane things, well, tricopter aeroplanes.
Did you get that free with Weetabix tokens, Ray?
Yes.
I thought so.
But it flies. It flies really well.
Is that an FPV camera on it?
Yeah, it's got the old, there you go. There you go, I'll let you have a look inside. Look at that, man. Look at that.
What's inside?
All you can see is the battery connector.
So it's not ready to fly?
Yeah, it's ready to fly.
What size battery does it take?
1000 milliamp 3S.
Alright.
Flies very well. Don't worry, I'll be.
And do them motors move for the transition?
Yeah, they do. I don't want to force it, but that'll actually tilt down over. Ah, there we go.
Alright.
Actually tilt down over like that.
Send away then, go a demo.
No way. I could, but I'm not going to. Honestly, it's great fun. It is just a toy, but if they made this about 3 times bigger, it would be absolutely fantastic, I can assure you. 3 times bigger, it would be a contender. I would buy one in a heartbeat.
Well, just get yourself an FX79 and fit the extra motors to it.
What a brilliant answer.
Aye,
Yeah,
see?
I would do.
Aye.
I would do.
I tell you what I've been eyeing up. It's discontinued now, but there's still a supplier over here in the UK that stocks it, and it's that the Taft Hobby Quantum, the bi-wing jet. Have you seen that?
No? Is that what you were mentioning the day in the messenger chat?
Aye, yeah.
I didn't see that.
That thing.
What is it then?
It's a jet that looks a little bit like like a sport jet, like the Avanti, stuff like that.
Right.
But it's got 2 sets of wings. So
Oh, the Captain Blash, not fly one. Is it quite big?
there's 2. there's a turbine version, which I forget who made it.
I'm sure Captain Blash, the one you're on about, the EDF one, Captain Blash has got a video of it on his channel.
Right, quite possible. I mean, it's an old plane by the looks of it.
Oh, yeah.
There's somebody in the EDF jet clubhouse.
So it's a bi-wing EDF?
Aye.
Aye, I know exactly what you mean.
I was sitting watching some videos of it this morning, and it looks so good. There's a supplier here in the UK selling them for
Right.
179 quid.
Right.
Like reduced from like 300 and odd pound.
Oh, so you can have it.
That could be a quite purchase. EDF, yeah, 90 mil.
What's not like a biplane on an EDF?
Right, as soon as I seen it, the first person I thought of was you, Ray. Thinking,
I really love these bi-wings. Mixing an EDF with a bi-wing. What's the worst can happen? So, Ray, I noticed in the comments there somebody's mentioned about the servos. What controls the motor tilt?
It's done by, it's got its own proprietary flight controller.
Right.
It's all built in, it all comes with it, and it's got a gyro built into that controller.
But what's the mechanism? Is it just a servo attached to the rod, or?
Yeah, I'll see if I can bring it up on the camera. Right, I'll get it a bit closer for you.
Right.
You can see it.
Yep. So what they're saying is, I can see what they're getting at now. What they're saying is, when that motor is spinning, obviously it's creating a lot of thrust and force. So how is the servo going to react to that, to the feedback of the motor?
Well, basically, the flight controller's in the middle.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
See if I'm getting shots right there. So obviously, if you're putting in thrust, it's actually controlling the speed of the motor.
Yep.
But it also, if you want to fly backwards, it tilts backwards a little bit.
But what I'm trying to get at is, you know, on a conventional aeroplane, say you're moving one of the servos electronically by the remote, and you grab hold of the surface that's moving. You know how it jiggers the servo, burns the servo out? How is the servos in that going to react with the force of that prop? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but in all honesty, right, the only issue that I've heard about, I checked it out on YouTube, and somebody actually damaged the servos and the mechanism on the servos because they landed it in an aeroplane.
Alright, so that was more the mechanism than the actual servo, but the servos will be fine. Just the mechanism.
Because they landed it as an aeroplane. Whereas what you should do is you put it into hover, that's obviously going backward over, and you land it vertically. You know?
I'll be interested to see it fly.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
It's fun until you break it, like any other toy, isn't it?
Well, I've got 5 gram servos, so quite literally I don't mind replacing them when they get damaged. So because it is great fun to fly.
Are the motors actually just running on standard servos, or they're more like they look a bit more like a retract style sort of?
No, they're just standard servos, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
just standard linkage
that they could put in the aeroplane.
Yeah.
In the work, you know. So as I say, I'll put some video up in the next year or so. Well, it'll be about Friday by the time I get around to doing it. But I think you'll be surprised at how well it hovers. I was very surprised, to be honest. It's got auto leveling as well. So once you take it off the ground, if you take it up to 6 foot, it just stays at 6 foot. It's got a barometer in there, keeping the height perfect. And then you just fly it around. You just set the throttle midway, and it just hovers right at that point.
Robert's saying put an EDF on it when you break it. Don't say that, Robert, he will. You never know, Ray.
Things that comes out of your bunker, Ray, I wouldn't be surprised.
Flying cars, boomerangs. What else you had, Ray?
But Thunderbird 2, which I
Thunderbird.
The redesign department.
The Seagull.
Yeah.
The gull, but that hasn't flown yet, has it?
No.
Did you do a chuck test on that?
On the what, sorry?
On the Seagull?
The Seagull, no, the Seagull has donated its parts to the Eagle.
Alright, was the Seagull a failure like?
It was too heavy to fly.
Right.
It would be like a jet.
So could you not just put more power on?
You could, but it would just get faster and faster. It would be the fastest Seagull at the beach gate. It was supposed to be a nice slow flyer, but it turned into a rocket.
Oh, that's interesting. A guy in the chat, Robert in the chat, is saying he actually put a 50mm EDF on a 2000 Seagull. When he says 2000, I believe he means 2 meters.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine that, like.
But that would be good because you can actually hide it rather than having a prop.
That's true, yeah. But I mean, it was always going to be a slow flyer, but it was just, honestly, I was going to put more power into it, bigger battery, and then I just reached the point of saying, this design is not going to be the way I expected it.
What did you make that out of? Was it Dead Brown?
No, that was donated from him. Do you know the AXN glider?
Was that another failure?
No.
You seem to be getting a lot of donations.
No, I bought it,
Right.
And what happened was, I flew it about twice, and I realised it wasn't what I was looking for.
Right.
And I went and got a Bixler, and the Bixler just took over, and I just love flying the Bixler. It's much easier to fly.
Oh, the Bix has always been a good model.
You should revisit that, but maybe use the flight test foam board.
Yeah.
What's that for, Aaron?
You keep yourself busy with.
It's fairly like the flight test foam board, you know. I think that going design that you're doing with that for that Seagull.
Oh, it looked brilliant. It looked like it would fly.
Yeah. But if you used, you know, something like the flight test foam, you might be able to get it light enough to, you know, be able to put a moderate motor on it, so it's not going to be a fast flyer.
Yeah.
We've just found somebody that's never liked the Bixler. And Hersh RC's never liked the Bixler. That was the model I started flying. Although it wasn't called the Bixler when I started flying, it was a Sky Surfer. I think the Sky Surfer came out before the Bixler. But I thought everybody loved the Bixler when they first started flying.
I'm in a higher class. I started flying with the Skywalker.
Oh, that's right, aye. The Skywalker's better than the Bixler, but for a trainer. Would you start with, Rob?
Tundra.
Tundra, wasn't it? But Tundra is a bit...
Still on the Tundra?
But you're concentrating more now on the quads, aren't you? Hopefully Rob's getting to the level now where you can start doing chase footage. He just needs a bit more fine tuning, a little bit more finesse on the sticks. Which one's that?
That's the Exorcist.
Oh, that's a gorgeous one. Go a close look at that, Rob.
FPV.
Rob, you need to hurry up and graduate, 'cause it's my turn to be the apprentice and learning how to fly a quad next.
Oh, I can fly a quad.
He just needs fine tuning. His fingers.
Simon just panics when I get a bit close.
When you get close, when you're touching me tail.
Simon,
I did say that, though. I did say that. When I watch the video back, I still panic.
You panic. You weren't looking through the goggles.
You know, you guys out there see all this perfect footage all the time, but what you don't see is the blooper reels. Like a few months back, I was flying FMS Super E's.
That's the only model I've hit. That's the only plane I've hit.
Yeah.
But what did you say to me? Hang on. What did you say to me when you took off? Ray was there at the time. What did you say? Nobody can catch me. Nobody chases me because nobody can catch us. And I was in a bit of a bad fettle.
it's snowing here.
I made it snow on the beach. I just seen a message there from EQRC. EQRC, he's getting I seen his video the other night on YouTube. He's got the FMS Avanti V3. We've had the FMS Avanti V3 on the beach. Andrew flew it first. But when Andrew flew it, he had the pack not forward, but to where you would think the CG is for what it's saying in the book. And when he flew it, he didn't have that good of a flight with it. Then I had a fly of it, but what I did was I put a 4,500 milliamp pack all the way forward, and it flew beautiful. Remember, were you there that day, Ray, when I was flying it on the beach? I was flying it fast and slow, and even slowing it down, I was coming by and it was like a high alpha. And to see an Avanti doing that, especially having the pack all the way forward, totally surprised me. I just couldn't understand how it flew so good with a pack all the way forward. So EQ, when you do your maiden, my advice would be to put a heavy pack right up front.
It does look nice in the air though, and that's going by. It's a really nice looking plane.
Oh, it's small though, isn't it? It's a small model, but it flies perfect. It's a lovely flying model.
The thing is, with sports jets, I think small sports jets are better than big sports jets. I think if you've got like military jets, you know, like your SUs in the background,
yeah,
fantastic when they're big, because it gives you that sort of scale feeling.
Yeah.
But sports jets, they need to be small, nimble, fast, and
you see, for me, I don't like the small and fast models. I like to see me model in the sky flying. I like to see a big silhouette of it. I don't like past. I like to take full advantage of a good looking model when it's in the sky. You've spent all that money on the model, you don't want to see it just go poof.
You know, in the sky, like my Rebel V2,
that's a good starter jet. That isn't, and that is faster as well.
Yeah, but it slows right down as well. I can get that thing really slow. Into a headwind, you know, quarter throttle, and it'll maintain. You know, it'll be nice and stable.
Yeah.
You know, really slow.
You've just started to get the grips with that now. That was your first EDF, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a bit tricky at first. Like, there's a video up on the YouTube. I think it's with me doing my maiden with that.
That's right,
And Andy flying his Mirage.
GB Linden in the house, Gooniacs in the house. We've got the big hitters in. What was that? Sorry, Aaron.
Say, like, if you watch that video back, I tried to slow it down in that video, and as soon as I do, you can see it, like
the wing was starting to wobble. Yeah.
But so, you know, I've had that jet 2 or 3 months now.
Yep.
And when I fly it now, I think the trouble I had with it is I had my rates and everything set up to the manual.
Yeah.
It was just far too much. So
but you didn't have any expo in neither, did you? Or not a lot of expo?
I had a bit in. I think I only had about 30% in.
Yeah.
And eventually I moved that up to 55%, and I took the rates far below what the manual said. And as soon as I'd done that, that's it. It flies really smooth now.
That's the main thing that I keep expressing that of a lot of people at the beach when they bring their model down to maiden it. What I've found a lot is when people set their radio up, they're not getting the full resolution of the movement on the stick. They'll have like 100% rate, but the surface will be at 100% when the stick is only at 70%, so they'll be losing 30% of the resolution. It'll just be a null area. So it's all about getting what you would class as high rate. Once you get that set, which I've found for me is always 70% lower, it's never 100% of the stick movement, the full movement of the surface. It's always a lot less, which for me is around about 70%. But once you get that set right on the radio, gives you a lot more feel on the stick. Then you can add a little bit extra, then rates if you want after that. But it's all about getting that first setting spot on, and from there moving forward from that point.
Well, it
That's
was
what I
after
found.
you had that talk with me. You know,
Yeah.
it was the last time I was flying at the beach with the Rebel. You said, you know, you need to go back and look at your radio.
Aye, because we had to go on the beach, didn't we? Walt had some settings on the beach and it flew much better. But you'll be surprised the amount of people out there that just don't do that. They just fly 100%.
I think too many people look at the manual and take that as gospel as well. The manuals are never right.
For rates wise and movement, I don't think I'll glance at the manual, but I'll always put it to what I think is right. I'd rather it be my fault than the manual's fault.
Yeah.
Very
I
true.
come down to the beach with a new plane, I'm like, Simon, do these look right?
Yep, totally agree, Guniak. Sometimes I'll have 55% expo on me models. I love expo, me. Hey, it's a multitude of scenes.
Too true.
Yep, cut the throws, plenty of expo in, make the plane fly gorgeous. Full throttle, full throws, no expo equals crash. We've seen plenty of them.
Yeah, Robert, you're right about that, getting used to the latency on ADFs. Like, I've just started flying ADFs, and that's nearly messed me up a few times.
It's like the lag, isn't it?
Yeah, I try to, like, if you find yourself in a bad situation, I think it was like maybe my second or third flight on an ADF. I went to do like a power loop and completely messed it up, used too much elevator, and it just started spinning the plane, and I cut my throttle, and I was coming very close to the water, and I was like, right.
That was to the sea, wasn't it, Aaron? You're coming close to the sea, the North Sea.
You know, like you kick your throttle back in to try and gain some power to pull yourself away, and on an ADF you just see yourself falling further and further. Without that power kicking in straight away, and honestly, I think my heart fell.
Yeah. What you do at that point, you start dropping the nose, try and get the nose down to gather speed before you'll pull it back up level again. But if you're close to the sea to start with, you've just got to hold that nose up and hope you've got enough power to get you out.
Well, luckily that time I did, but you know, I wouldn't want to put my money on doing it right again the second time. So that new SU, Simon, how's it coming along? It looks good, that.
What, the SU-30?
Yeah.
It's nice, it's gorgeous looking model, don't get it wrong, it's a beautiful looking model, it's exactly what I wanted. I love the Russian jets, why I've got SU-35 here, but I've seen people fly and it does fly really nice. It's what we've asked for. We've got the SU-35, and the only complaint with the SU-35 was it was made of EPS, but what you've got to think of is it's made from EPS for a reason, to make it light, because you've got thrust vector in the back, which is adding quite a lot of weight to the model. So if you make this model in EPU, it then becomes the SU-30. It's virtually the same size model, but the weight difference is massive, hence why you haven't got thrust vectoring on the SU-30. If you put thrust vectoring on there as well, it would be far too heavy. But I've only had one flight with it. It took a good long run on the beach. You were there when I flew one year, Aaron? It took a good long run on the beach to get off the ground. But coming to think of it, I seen a post the other night about the calibration of the ESCs, and I may not have calibrated the ESCs to my throttle. Right. So I need to have a look at that. But flying wise, I couldn't fault it. It did fly nice. It felt a little.
That time when you made it the other week.
Well, that's the only flight I've had with it, Aaron. That maiden flight.
You had it going so slow. I honestly thought it was going to fall out of the sky.
When you think of it, it's a big lifting wing. The whole body is one big wing. All the Russian jets are like that, so you can slow them down really nicely. But what you got to remember, the difference between this one and the Su-35, when you are slow, you haven't got that thrust vectoring to get you out of problems. You need to gather speed before you can start moving about, which is why I like the Su-35, because you can get them really slow, then rely on the thrust vectoring to get you out of problems.
My favourite plane still is that 90mm free-wing Yak you have.
The what? The Yak 130?
That's the best looking plane.
That's the super scale Yak 130, the 90mm from Ocean RC. That runs on 6S, that model. 2 seconds. I say Superfly's just commented there. Nice speaking to you the day. Yep, we're all spot on. Champion. The Yak 130, that's a 90mm 6S model, and a lot of people have upgraded that to the 8S power system. For me, I think I'd had that Yak fairly early on when I started flying, and I was quite inexperienced at flying jets, I think, and when I first flew it for its maiden flight, I was frightened to slow it down in case it fell out the sky because the model's that heavy. And my landings were always fast with it, and I was thinking about moving that model on. But then one day I thought, I'll just try it slow, see if I can get some slower flights, longer flights out of it. And after that point, I absolutely love it. It's building faith in the model that you can fly it a bit slower so you can get longer flights. And I think I was getting 4-minute flights, which beforehand I was lucky if I got 2.5 minutes flight out of it, and I was landing with 15% in the pack. Then once I realised how to fly it, I was getting 4 minutes and landing with like 30-40% in the pack. And that was another plane that I could dial down really slow.
I still remember the first time I seen you fly that on the beach. I think it was maybe a year ago. In fact, I have a video of that flight on my Instagram.
I remember you taking a video of it.
And it was going that slow. You came in low and slow, and it was going that slow I could have walked next to it.
You could, and that's without using flaps as well. That's just using the whole lifting body to keep you up. And plus, we always have an advantage on the beach as well, I think, because we get a lot of smooth wind, whether that's coming down the beach, up the beach, or off the sea. When it comes off the land, it's really rough. But any other direction, you use that to your advantage, just to keep the momentum going and keep the plane up rather than using power.
And it looks good doing it as well, that plane.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
I just took the receiver out of it the other day actually, and I put it, because I just got, while I was waiting for a receiver coming, people saying they've got stuff in stock, you order, and it never turns up. And I was waiting for this FR Sky X8R to turn up, and it didn't turn up. And I was itching to get the SU all set up, because there's quite a bit of work to do in the SU, all the thrust vectoring. So I pulled the receiver out the Yak 130. But don't worry, I've bought another one.
Shopping.
I bought another one.
Oh, sorry.
When I ordered this, I also ordered the FR Sky S-Bus decoder controller. It's a device that will turn PPM inputs to an S-Bus output, so you can actually change your X8R into the X12R basically, so you get 12 PPM channels. But the decoder I ordered didn't turn up. But what did turn up was this. How can you say that? A Futaba receiver. I can't afford a Futaba remote. My remotes are 120 quid. Seeing that, I've just realised something. This This has got the multi-protocol module inside of it, so I could actually bind to that Futaba receiver.
Them receivers are quite expensive as well, aren't they?
Yes, I look, it's about £60 that receiver. But I've already emailed the shop to tell them they've sent us this instead of the £10 item that I'd ordered.
Just delete your email account and keep it there.
No, I don't want it. I want what I ordered, and it's not that. Has anybody been watching the comments?
Yeah, I'm having a look now, yeah.
That's the thing when you're on live like this, we're chatting amongst ourselves and we're forgetting we've got guys in the comments here. .3D rates on the quads. I like all my quads are dialed down because Rob's different to me though. Rob likes the fast movements with his quads and the snap rolls and stuff like that. I dial my quads down. Why not dial them down as such, but I like to get smooth movement with my quads for when I'm chasing the planes, where Rob's the complete opposite side of the spectrum. What do you do with yours, Rob?
I just increase the stick response time, and so it feels like it's more keyed in. You know,
More loose.
Stick in the quad. I like the quad to react.
Snap.
You take more of a thing from like the freestyle guys, don't you, though, Rob?
Yeah. But I am going to set one up so it's nice and relaxed, so I can hopefully get a bit better that'll be for chasing and whatnot. My big quandary at the moment is whether to go for the DJI FPV system. It's expensive.
So are you going to purchase a DJI system, Rob, are you?
I don't know. It's a lot of money,
But
the air unit won't fit into most of my quads.
yeah, that's the same with me.
And so it means either building a new quad or two for the DJI units, or I mean, I could adapt to couple if I can get standoffs big enough. I could adapt to copies to 6S.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just the initial outlay, I think.
It is a massive cost.
Coming on the 27th.
Yeah.
They're announcing something on the 27th. I don't think it will be to do with the FPV system. I think it might be a new drone or something that they're going to announce.
Yeah.
But we'll wait and see. I don't know if any of our people in the chat have any more knowledge on that. If you go to the DJI website, there is an announcement coming.
I see Robert's commented, he says the DJI system best investment he's ever made, hands down. The problem I've got with the DJI system, at the minute, I'll use this quad. I've just got the analog FPV camera with me Fat Shark goggles. So if I was to get the DJI system, the benefit would be of that is getting rid of the GoPro camera on top. So I've got a GoPro 7 on top, so it means I'll be able to get rid of that GoPro camera, get rid of the FPV camera, replace it with the DJI camera and the module receiver that goes in the back. But what is the quality of the recorded footage on the DJI compared to the stabilized quality of the GoPro 7?
It's the air unit itself will record in 1080p at 60 frames per second.
Right.
So
what about stabilization?
Footage. What I don't know is about the stabilization.
That's the thing.
I don't think it's going to be as good as a GoPro.
No.
The GoPro, of course, gives you 2.7K and 4K.
Yeah.
Recording.
But it doesn't give you stabilization at 4K, does it?
Yeah, I think it does.
Does it?
On the Hero 7 Black.
Is that the GoPro 8 or GoPro 7?
I'll have to look, hang on.
Because I'm sure I tested this other day in the back garden, and because I've never tested in 4K, I normally use 2.7 or 1080 60 frames per second. But I tested this the other day in 4K just out in the garden, and it wouldn't let us access the stabilization on the camera unless I'd set it up wrong.
In this RC, I know the feeling. I'm too poor for GoPros as well.
But the problem is when you start in the hobby, I was exactly the same. When I started, I was getting like a £10 camera and putting it on a quad or an aeroplane and flying and thinking the footage was great. But then you start to see other people putting much better footage out there, and you kind of think to yourself, well, if I don't buy a better camera, my footage is always going to sit in the background. You need to be prepared to invest in quality cameras to get it out there, unless you're a really good pilot. And well, I use the quality of the camera to make me look good. It's nothing to do with my flying skills. It's all in the camera.
I tell you what though, there's I was talking to you about these cameras, Simon. The 8-band 4K cameras.
Yep.
I've been looking at a lot more into them, and I mean, if you're comparing them to like the newest GoPros, then they certainly don't match up. But in terms of the price you're paying and the quality you're getting is phenomenal on them. Like they do recording, like if you're setting them up on a quad, you can record in true 1080.
Yeah.
And they do look.
And is that 60 frames per second in 1080?
Yeah. I think that from what I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about them, and I think the main issue is the sound quality from the microphone.
But you don't need the sound. You don't need the sound.
For what we do, you don't need the sound. So I think it's definitely worth a test for the price of them.
What we can do when it comes, we'll strap it next to this one. Yeah. This one's Andrew Condas. He left it at my house before lockdown. We'll strap it next to this one, put them both on a quad, see how they differ. But I can honestly say the GoPro will win hands down because of the stabilization.
Definitely, but for people who are on a budget.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
For a GoPro, it could be a wise option for people like me, because I couldn't afford a GoPro.
No. Neither could I.
But again, with them as well, apparently the stabilization on them is really good as well.
So it's actually got stabilization on it?
Yeah. But I think basically it's like a Chinese tech company that have taken the specs of a GoPro and then made it themselves.
Yeah.
So the downside from it will be probably the quality of the ingredients used in the product.
Yeah.
And that's where the difference is.
Yeah.
But supposedly they're just a clone of a GoPro. So it'll definitely be worth a test though.
I will give it a go, definitely. I mean, see if you can get it. Sorry, Rob.
Just to answer your question there, on some modes it will do hyper smooth at 4K, depending on like your resolution, your camera angle and stuff.
Right.
Whatnot. But I had it selected there at 4K at 50 frames per second on wide. I don't know.
Because I use linear when I used to use the super wide, but now I've went back to linear.
Yeah, because you get a closer shot of the aircraft. So.
Yeah, the Hero 5, that's a good camera as well. The Session, everybody who flew the quads loved the Session, which is that form factor, which was perfect, but then GoPro decided not to make it anymore.
Session mount on the Exorcist.
Yeah. You spoil that quad though by putting an HD camera on it.
You do, but it's still fast. But interestingly enough, you know the GoPro 8, the Hero 8, you know how you can replace the lens protector lens on the Hero 7? You can't replace it on the 8, apparently.
Right, is it a fixed lens? It doesn't twist off?
Doesn't twist off like on these, which is like surprising.
So it would appear to have an extra cover on it.
The one that I'm actually interested in is the Insta360 1R. Having recently purchased that.
Very new, sure I've seen the comments asking what I'm drinking out of a wine glass. It's called Council.
What's that, Blue Wicked?
Blue Wicked, classy man, mate. Classy man.
Robert, can you bring that camera back up that you had in your hand there?
Yeah.
I was watching a video the other night. That's the big, what's that one called? Insta361.
Insta361X.
Right. Have you seen the little Insta camera they brought out?
The 1R.
The 1R. But have you seen the modification they've made of it? When it was released, it only recorded for 1 minute.
Oh no, it will do loads. It will do like whatever.
Well, apparently it would only record for 1 minute when it came out. Now they've just done an update, so it'll record for 5 minutes without overheating.
I think it records for longer than that, I think.
5 minutes? Are you on about the same camera? It's probably with that big.
You're talking about the Insta361.
No, I'm on about the. Let's see if I can find it on here. Nurgular, Nurk, the drone racer. He actually's got a video on it, and it looks ideal for putting on the front of a quad.
Well, the 1R is the one that is modular. So
Yeah, not that one. That's not the one I'm.
With a screen on, and then you can put like a GoPro 4K lens on, or you can change it to a 360 module.
The one I'm on about is called the Insta360 Go.
Yeah, that's the little one.
But that, when it first came out, it would only record for 1 minute.
Yeah.
But now they've altered the firmware in it, so it actually records now for 5 minutes.
It's not a 360 camera.
No, but it gives a full 180 degrees view.
190, yeah.
Yep. So that means you could then put that footage. But what he's doing is he's putting it on his quad, and it absolutely looks brilliant. So I'm on the verge of clicking buy, because if you think about it, it's 5 minutes footage. The reason why it's 5 minutes was something to do with the heat. Because it's fully enclosed, it can't disperse the heat. So they've actually upgraded the firmware, so it will run for 5 minutes now, which is ideal for the quads, because an average quad flight's 3.5 minutes. So then what you would do is you'd take the camera off, plug it into your iPhone or iPad, download the video straight to the iPad, then put it back on the quad for your next flight.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're good little cameras.
Yeah.
But personally, I'm kind of interested in doing the 360 footage.
Yeah, I mean, I love the looks of them 360 ones, but it's just when you've got to edit the footage, that would be the buying point for me. Because I know you were saying you had problems when you were starting to edit the footage.
There is a plugin for Adobe Premiere Pro.
That's another piece of kit that I had to buy, Adobe.
Yeah, which isn't cheap.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm lucky I get access to the full suite through work.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's it's best edited, to be honest, on their own software. And the annoying thing with Insta360, especially for the 1X and I think for the 1R, is that although they do a PC app for it, it's not as full featured as the apps they do for
Thanks,
the
Craft King. Sorry, Rob.
So if you want the best of the editing features, you've got to use it on an iPad or an Android tablet or something, because it's too small to look on your phone screen. I mean, some people might be all right with it. So I'm lucky I've got an iPad. I can do the editing on that. But what annoys me is that the 1R, which is the new one, has more features and a better editing program than the 1X, which is the one I bought.
Yeah.
So
have you opened that box yet?
Sorry?
Well, obviously you've opened that box. Can you not just send it back?
Nah, because I've used it.
Right.
The problem that I mean, you can. The nice thing about them, especially even that one, 1X, is that using the app, you could reframe the software, so it doesn't matter which way your quad's pointing. I mean, if I just like give it some throttle and fly underneath the plane or over the top of one, you know, sort of at any angle, I can just in the software say switch to that view. There, at this point, I want the camera pointing that way.
Yeah. But does it use some type of tracking feature as well while always keep it in shot? In the edit?
It only recognises people.
Oh, right.
And like.
So it's not going to recognise a model?
Yeah. But that doesn't really matter too much because you can just put keyframes in and say.
But that's more editing, isn't it? When I'm editing the videos, it takes forever to start with without trying all that.
I mean, it would work. It works.
Yeah.
I think possibly better tracking. Well, no better tracking is available with the 1R. I'm a little bit gutted that I spent the money on a 1X.
It happens. It happens. It's like when I buy a model and they bring a new model out and you bought something that you didn't really want, you were waiting for a new one, but nothing's coming out, then you buy a model and all of a sudden this new one pops out.
That said, I think the stitching, because it auto stitches the picture from the two lenses, I think the stitching's better on the 1X.
Right.
Because the lenses are closer together, the camera's thinner, whereas on the 1R, it's like GoPro thickness.
Yeah.
Having said that, I mean, it's not bad. You look at the 1R stitching, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But the 1X, in the videos I've seen, looks, it's less noticeable, even more so. Could be wrong. But I think for sticking on the quad, the 1R is more durable. I think the 1X is going to prove to be.
But the 1R is made up of modules, so do you think that's kind of, if you're constantly clipping things on and off, are the connections not going away?
Possibly, I don't know. I mean,
I would say the one you've got looks more durable than the 1R.
Yeah, I don't think it would be in a crash.
I think it would be, because if you crash with the 1R on, it's made up of what, 3 pieces? That's 3 pieces you've now got to find on the beach instead of 1.
Well, I have got the venture case for the 1X, which is like this big plastic hardened shell you can put around it.
Yeah.
But what surprised me with it was actually when I took it out of the box and thought, that weighs quite a lot. So once you got the camera in it, it actually does weigh more than a GoPro.
Aye, yeah.
So I think it would be 6S territory.
Yeah.
Just to get that thing in the air.
That's the trouble. If you want good quality footage on a quad, it's the weight factor that comes into it as well. I know when I first started flying with a big GoPro on the front, it was like strapping a barn door to it. the resistance when you're flying through the air that the GoPro creates is immense compared to not having it on. And you notice the difference straight away.
I think it, put it this way, with the 1X on in the venture case and the mount to get it attached to the quad, I think it would be a bit hazardous to do things like flips and rolls.
I've seen people doing it with the 1X on, they seem to handle it okay.
Maybe just with the camera on, but with the venture case on,
Yeah.
with the extra weight of that, I think it would imbalance the quad quite a lot.
Yeah.
And you would be struggling to keep it smooth.
Yeah.
If it didn't just go crazy and flip out by itself anyway. I mean, venture case, I'll show you. It's
Rob's got all the gadgets, hasn't he?
It's a nice suit, isn't it, Mr. Tech?
it's quite impressive, actually. Comes in a nice bag, but like that's it there.
All right. Yeah, but what you could do though is obviously put the camera inside of there, but mount it like side on the quad. So your stitching would be in the middle of the screen, but makes no difference where the stitching is because you're not going to be using the full part anyway, are you? You're only going to be using a particular frame at a time to follow the plane.
That's pretty heavy.
Right.
It's designed for an impact, you know. So I've no doubt it would protect the camera. The problem I've got is that it just weighs a lot.
Yeah.
How much do you reckon it weighs for?
Oh, I'm not good with these things.
What are you thinking about putting it on, Ray?
Well,
You're thinking about something. I can see your brain ticking.
A big aeroplane.
Aye.
That's for sure.
Aeroplanes will not struggle carrying stuff like that. Aeroplanes don't struggle. The only problem you've got with putting them on aeroplanes is damaging the aeroplane to put it on.
Yeah.
Put it on the meal.
On the what? Sky Mule? I'll go and find on a Sky Mule. I think Rob's talked himself into selling that though and getting the newer one.
I think what Rob needs to do is buy his next plane.
Is what?
Buy his next plane. What's that? Is it the FMS, the sport cub you are looking at?
What the aeroplane?
Aye.
I was looking at the Super Cub, the PA thing.
The FMS one, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never even seen that one.
It looks really good actually. I think we talked about this before though. The only downside to it was the vinyl stickers for the windows.
Oh, right, aye. Yep, aye. It looked a bit cheap, didn't it? Aye. Yep.
But the aeroplane itself looks really nice.
I know RC, he likes it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There must be a few at his club.
Back in a minute, chaps.
I can't find the weight of it now, but the camera's about 90 grams, the 1X. And I would say that easily weighs as much, if not more, than the camera. So probably about 100 grams. So you're probably talking 190, 200 grams.
That's a lot, that, like.
Like that, I mean, that case is solid. You know, you're not going to damage your camera with that one.
Yeah.
But is the quad going to actually, how's the quad going to respond? I didn't realise it weighed as much as that. You know, it's well made, I've got to say. You know, I mean, I'm sure it would protect the camera. But as I say, from a quad point of view, it's yeah, it's quite heavy.
what we need is the DJI system with the quality of the GoPro for stabilisation. That's what we need.
I think they'll get there, to be honest. Because there'll be some people that are looking at the DJI system at the moment going, well, I like it, but it only records at a maximum of 1080.
Yeah.
If it recorded at 4K, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
You know? So, Siri kicking off there. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure DJI recognise that if they made it even better, more people would invest. I've only ever heard good things about it though. You know, people, I mean, like, Robert there in the chat was saying it was the best he'd ever made FPV wise, and it's just that initial outlay, you know, it's like, it's expensive. I've already spent, I mean, I've got a pair of, I can't remember the name of them, the OLED ones, which I really like. I mean, I said the other day, I really like my Fat Sharks. Because they're just lovely quality.
That's it. Once you get used to the Fat Shark goggles, I've always said you'll not settle for anything else. But with the DJI system being HD digital footage, you get a better picture. But I have tried it when Simon Shaw had his at the beach. I tried it, and I think I could quite happily fly the aeroplanes FPV with that type of system. What I couldn't do, speaking for myself, I think I'll struggle flying, chasing, using a quad with a DJI FPV system, just because of the screen on it. When I put them on compared to my Fat Shark goggles, it's just massive. And I find I'm moving my eyes about a lot to see where I want to be. Well, with the Fat Shark goggles, everything is just there. You don't have to move your eyeball. Your eyeballs just stop in the same place, and it leaves you to concentrate more on chasing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Well, with an aeroplane, it's more leisurely flight. Probably some.
I think that's, to be fair, that's the way I've got used to. I'm sure I would probably like the DJI as well, but
Yeah.
But I've got used to that, like, system of the picture's just right in front of you, right? You don't have to move your eye to look around the screen.
Yeah.
No, I like the look of them DJIs, without a doubt, the quality. Simon let me have a go with them, you know, Simon Shaw, and I love the quality from them. Absolutely fantastic.
Them knockers, the quality is brilliant, excellent. The quality, they're all really good quality. I think you would benefit from them, Ray, because the type of FPV system you used to start with is like a full face screen, so
That's right.
You'll benefit from them straight away, guaranteed. Yeah. I think what I'm saying is I think I'll struggle coming from goggles to that type of system.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I put a link on the messenger there. The iFlight quad, which comes with a set of DJI goggles with the air unit as well.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sorely tempted with it, mate.
Well, that's £771.
Exactly.
It's You'll not spend that much money, Ray.
Diversity goggles, that'll do me.
Well, I've got the diversity goggles, and the screen's quite good, but just for the sheer quality, I watched a couple of videos, and the quality looks absolutely fantastic when you're flying low across water or grass, or, you know, even seeing the scenery from high up looks fantastic.
Is it worth that much money though?
Yes.
It is.
It is.
It is.
I think it is. The only thing is I don't have HD eyes.
That's the point, you can't upgrade your eyes, can you?
Exactly.
In HRC, we actually play a game on the beach for stall landing, where we draw a circle in the sand and then try and land in the circle. That's played it.
Is that when I'm knocking your throttle off?
Yeah. So we've got to fly up really high, and then Simon will come along and knock my throttle off, and then we've got to try and get down to the circle without any throttle and land in the circle.
It's a good game, that.
The trouble is, the last time I played it, Ray and Paul were using the Arctic Cat.
Devon mentioned
It has
it.
no glide slope at all. And then I was using my Super Ease, which I could fly for an hour without putting the power on.
The Arctic Cat falls like a brick when you turn the throttle off, like. It lands a bit like the space shuttle. But hey, it's indestructible.
I love the Tundra, me, for a stall plane. But I'm saying I love the Tundra, that's the only stall plane I've had.
Do you know what it is? For my Tundra, I've never once used the flaps on it.
I never used to on mine neither. Yeah. Very rarely used the flaps.
I think, you know, with their big barn door sort of flaps, if you haven't got your speed correct when you put them in, you just, your nose just goes right up and you
yeah, but what you would do is you would put a mix in on the elevator for that. But one thing to remember though, Aaron, we fly our Tundras really tail heavy. A lot of people don't. Yeah. So when they put the flaps in, it'll not be as exaggerated as what ours is because we fly them that tail heavy.
Well, mine's even more crazy now because I upgraded the motor to run on 4S. And now I run a 4,000 milliamp 4S right at the back.
Yep. That's the way to do it though. That's the way to do it. They fly much better, tail heavy.
And on 4S.
I'm seeing comments about the FMS Supercar. I'm getting more and more tempted.
I can see them comments there from inertia. Resistance.
So the only problem is I can't remember if it was CMS or CML distribution. On the FMS website, it said it was with floats. I don't know if that means it comes with the wheels.
That means you get them with it. It was the same when I bought the Super Ease. It said with floats, but it just means you get them in the box with it.
But do you get the wheels? Because I don't want the float.
No, you get the wheels. Yeah, you get the wheels.
What's the matter, like, Rob? Do you not want to go on the water? We're scared of the water.
I thought the exact same thing when I bought the Super Ease, but it says with floats, and then you're like, does it have the wheels or not? But it does. I think it's just kind of lost in translation a little bit.
Right.
I think you should get that credit card out right now and go and buy it.
Somebody's saying you can get it without the floats for £200 and some pound. Inertia. He's typing. So, what's your plans, Rafe? Obviously, you've got this vertical takeoff and landing plane, but you must have something else on the go. You've got the pits in the background there, we see the box. But you must have something else on the go, are you?
Well, as I say, I've just finished doing the Eagle, which was like my own design.
All right, yeah.
Nice, you know. Nice slow flyer. Definitely get back to doing the Thunderbird 2, the bigger version. You know how small it was? You know, it was only about this long. It's going to be a much bigger version.
But will this one fly controlled?
Yes.
Will it be a controlled flight? Because your last one was like a big Kenny Everett hand in the sky, wasn't it? Waving past it.
Yeah, but it flew.
But will it fly controlled?
Yes, it will, because it's going to have air thrust vectoring from the EDF, and it's going to be a 70mm EDF.
Right.
This is the bit of foam it's going to be made from. I'll just put it back here so you can see the size of it.
All right.
It's going to be a fair old size.
Yeah.
So it is a fair old size, that bit, you know. So it's going to be quite long, and it's going to have a flight controller.
Oh, see, Marshall. Sorry, Ray.
Oh, go on, carry on.
You're putting a flight controller in it.
Yes, it'll have a flight controller.
No 9 nav, is it?
It'll control the ailerons, it'll control the EDF thrust vectoring as well. So I'll have full control of it when it leaves the ground. No more test runs, you're going to be videoing it taking off.
So, right, how is it going to take off though? Are you, because the last time you tried it, it couldn't come unstuck.
Well, I've got this idea of putting skids on the bottom, which is going to be made out of, do you know the Arctic cat, which I actually destroyed, right? That's going to be the skids, because the Arctic cat goes along that sand beautifully without getting stuck.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put strips on either side, and that'll just, away it'll go.
Right.
No problem. 70mm EDF band run on 4S, that will take off.
Interesting. So that's all you've got on the building bench at the minute?
That's about it at the minute. I've got enough to be thinking about. I'm just like sort of, there's other things which are floating around in my mind, you know, that I just sit there and I think, well, I don't think anybody's done that one before. I might give that a go. And it's just like, all I do is I build a test one, a small version, free flight. And if it flies free flight, I'll think, right, that'll fly with no controls, nice and stable. That will fly with RC.
Huh?
So that's the way I do it.
We'll certainly have a laugh at the beach anyway. We'll never know what you're going to bring down next. I think the boomerang was the best one when you turned up with a boomerang. We've actually got a video of that on Northeast FPV, haven't we? The boomerang one.
I watched that.
And none of that. Yeah,
like that.
The beauty about that is everybody thinks it was set up, and none of it was set up. In fact, I forgot I had my camera recording because I think I had the hat cam on at the time. And it wasn't until I got to him and I started going through some video footage, some chase footage, and I come across this video. I thought, that's good, that I'm going to edit that and put it out. It is a good video. I can't remember what we called it now.
I'm sure it's called Ray's Maiden Day or something like that.
Maiden Day for Ray.
Yeah.
Something like that, with boomerang.
It was funny about all having to go of it as well. That was the other thing. I was just after I got back off my holidays and I saw it for sale in a shop and I thought, I'm going to have that and be a laugh down at the beach. Alright. I think we egg each other on a lot.
Definitely. Seems we've got a few people in here now. Last night on Boozers, obviously everybody knew we were about 996 subs and we only needed 4 to get to the 1,000. And the RC Air Marshal, who's on now, I know he subbed with last night, which got over onto that 1,000 mark, the 1K. So thanks very much for that, RC Air Marshal.
Very much, sir.
But the next step is 2,000. So in another 6 years' time, we'll look back at this and say we're 2,000 now. Just 6 years to go. Retired from what? Working or flying?
Oh, just work.
So you'll be flying even more.
Exactly.
Well, the next video that we'll have to do once this lockdown's over is the one with the Kraken mine.
I'm still waiting to see this Kraken that you've been working on.
There's still a few little things I need to tinker with before I reveal it.
Right.
But it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Right. So you obviously we're still in lockdown now. So is that going to be your first model flying after lockdown?
One of the first, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But we need to get that video done because it's going to be class.
But I can't even imagine it because I've never seen it. You see,
you'll see it before lockdown.
When I make me videos, people think I just make a video, then take it to them, do the edits, then put it up on YouTube. I don't. When I make a video, I'm already thinking about what I want to do with that video. So when I get to the beach, I'll say, can you bring a certain model? And I'll ask them to fly. Obviously, we'll always do left-hand circuits, but I've got a picture of it in my head before I even start the video, so I know exactly what I want. So it's hard for me to picture this video of the Kraken if I can't even see it.
You'll see it before long.
You're not going to show us it, are you?
I don't want to show it until it's perfect.
Right. Right.
I've got a few things to do to get it there. But you won't be disappointed when you see it. Let's tell you that.
Right.
Well, you know the idea we've got for the video that we're going to do with it. Let's just say that there's specific things on it to help with that video.
All right.
If that makes sense.
I think I kind of know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Right. Right, I think, how long we've been on? 75 minutes. Rob's got his internet shopping face on. As Anosha was saying. I think we'll call it a night then, you reckon, chaps?
Yeah.
Our first team live video. We'll probably post this one on. Shall we save this one for posterity?
Yeah. Oh, hell.
Definitely.
Oh, yes.
Right, thanks to the people that joined in. Sorry I haven't been looking at the comments that much. I've been more chatting on with these guys instead of the guys in the comments. But we'll probably
think they're very sensible chaps, don't they?
Well, not sensible. What we'll have to do is, to make it a permanent thing, we'll have to arrange a fixed time when we're going to do these live videos, because I don't want to come anywhere near the guys in America, because they have been doing these videos for a long time, the live videos. But luckily for us, they normally start Greenwich Mean Time. It's probably 1 o'clock in the morning, so I think we should be fine there. But what we'll do is we'll nail down a time and maybe get a few more of the guys from the group involved.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right. Right, we'll call it a day at that.
Yeah.
Right, catch you guys later.
See you later.